Next, and a team behind a film festival set to promote the work of emerging directors are launching a new project aimed at making film screenings more affordable. Jay Martin set up the Mansfield Town Film Festival after originally making a political documentary about the town. The first event took place in July last year and saw filmmakers and fanatics from all over the world coming together to celebrate new and emerging talents. Now they're taking some of those films on a tour around Notts as part of a new plan to make screenings more accessible. They've partnered with Inspire, the organisation that runs libraries across our county, and have organised cheap events which will start next week. And I'm very pleased to say Jay joins us now on the sofa to tell us all about it. It's always lovely having you on. Thanks for coming in.
Great to be here.
Tell us a little bit more about the new project. You're aiming to make film screenings more affordable, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So one of the aims of Mansfield Town Film Festival and our organisation is to make film as accessible as possible to everybody, not just people in Mansfield. So to that end, we've partnered with Inspire Culture, an amazing organisation, and they've offered us the opportunity to take Mansfield Town Film Festival on the road and do a series of screenings in some of their libraries. They recently got a big investment of new funding to put on film events around the county, so we're really, really proud to be partnering with them to make that happen, make that possible.
And what kind of films will be available to watch?
So we're going to show the best of Mansfield Town Film Festival 2023. So we've got really a variety pack, really. So a little bit of everything. Documentaries, music videos, animated films, international shorts, some locally made projects as well. An animated film called Floaters that's just as crude and hilarious as it sounds.
I remember that one.
Yeah, very, very funny. And a music video called Arcadia that was made just in Derby. That's like an old Western style one, and a bunch of other amazing films as well.
Sounds brilliant. Now, you're so passionate about independent films. Why do you think they hold such an important place alongside, you know, the multi-million-pound blockbuster films?
Well, I think, speaking as a filmmaker myself, this is how we get our start, right? You know, on the film festival circuit. And as you know, all too well, you know, Nottingham's got an amazing creative scene. I myself studied at Confetti in this building where we are now. And I think for us, being in the position that we are and being able to give the up-and-coming filmmakers a platform, particularly those from working-class backgrounds. We also promote, you know, women's voices, LGBTQI+, this year neurodiverse and disabled as well. We'd be remiss not to do that. So I think taking this film festival on the road with these screenings with Inspire is just another way that we can do that and make it even more accessible. And
you mentioned arts in Nottingham. Of course, the recent cuts to art funding happening right here in Nottingham. What do you think this will mean for arts and culture here?
Well, I think it's always a bad thing. And in fact, the reason that I have the film festival now is because I took a stand at the Red to Blue premiere a couple of years ago and gave the politicians that were in the room at the time loads of stick about arts funding and said, listen, you need to stop voting to cut the arts, because at the end of the day, it doesn't come out of Gary Lineker's salary. It comes out of us, the grassroots artists trying to make it in the industry. So I think with our film festival, we always try and be as accessible, inclusive as possible and push what funding we do have as far as we can. But I'm always on the case of Ben Bradley, my MP, and other MPs and politicians in the area to ensure that we're not going to continue to cut the arts, and we need to make that investment in this area as well, not just London and not just Manchester.
And we talked about the 2023 Film Festival. It was really successful and it seems to just be getting bigger and bigger. How is planning going for the Mansfield Film Festival 2024?
It's going very, very well. As you can see, the beard gets a bit longer the closer we get to this film festival. But it's amazing. I've got an incredible team behind me that are really backing me up and making this happen. Team at Mansfield District Council, the Cultural Services team that are really behind this now. And we're starting to find actually that the entire town is really clicking on to what we're trying to do with this festival. You know, it's one of our aims, our ambitions, our vision for it to become one of the largest in the East Midlands and bring thousands to Mansfield and indeed Nottinghamshire. So these screenings that we're doing with Inspire that are coming up soon are hopefully a way of giving people a taster of what's to come at this year's festival.
And can you tell us anything about the film festival? Any films that you've got that you can tell us about?
We've had some amazing films.
Have you?
So we actually closed for submissions on the 1st of May, so not too long now. And we've had about 220 films submitted, from all different genres, all different backgrounds. It's a lot of film viewing, but, you know, some of them
do you have to watch them all?
I don't personally, so I'm very, very lucky that I've got Sophie, who's our head of programming, who runs a team of about 10 people, our sort of selection jury, as we call them, from all over the world, and they watch every single film, they rate them, they give feedback on each film, but there's some in there that are really awe-inspiring, incredible. There was one that I watched recently that was an animated film, but it told the story of a domestic abuse situation, so quite a tough subject matter, but did it in such a beautiful way that it was so moving, and I can't, well, hopefully, fingers crossed, that one makes it into the festival this year.
Amazing. So where can people find out more? Let's talk about those mini screenings first of all.
Absolutely. So we've got 3 coming up with our friends at Inspire. One just next Friday on the 26th, that's at Kirkby and Ashfield Library. The next one on the 8th of May at Eastwood Library. And then the third and final one, 20th of June in Stapleford. And it's worth mentioning as well that Inspire are actually looking for volunteers to come and help run these film events and their other film events as well. So you can find out more information, inspireculture.org for that.
And just a final question before we go. We're talking about affordability. How much does it cost?
£2.
Love it.
£2 a ticket. Can't
Amazing.
argue with that.
Jay, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you.
Love talking to you.